Hi, I'm Carly and welcome to my cooking show. Today we're going to be having a special edition. See my oven over there? It's a special oven. It's going to take all my foods coming from my roots, my Italian, German, and Irish roots, and make it into an American dish that we all know today. My first dish is going to be an appetizer for my German side, sauerkraut roll-up. The first thing you need is a few pretzels, a garden gnome, and a clog. We're gonna wanna mix it all together, and when we come back in 5 minutes, we can take it out of the oven. What is your definition of being an American?
Pride.
Pride? Did your definition change after you qualified for Olympic trials?
No.
You just heard from one of my coaches, Coach Matt, who made it to the Olympic trials and made it to the top 8. Top 8 in the whole entire USA. That is awesome. When he went into Olympic trials, his definition of an American was pride. After such a positive experience and everything good that had happened to him, he still walked out of there with the definition of an American being pride. In Cristobal Sierra's essay, he had a more negative experience. He came to America loving it. He loved everything about it, the whole thing, loved it. He had good thoughts about America, and he went back to London to share it and let everyone know what his thoughts on America. But when he came back to America, he came down to his family being gone and a farm burnt down. But throughout his essay, he still never blamed America for what had happened to him, but he was still very positive and all good thoughts about America. Both Coach Matt and Cristobal Sierra had two different experiences, a positive and a negative, but both those experiences never changed their definition on what an American is and what their thoughts on America are. So now we're gonna go check on our sauerkraut roll-ups. Looks like they turned out pretty good. So now we're going to be making the main dish, which you may have on St. Patrick's Day and is one of my favorites, corned beef. So what you're gonna need is one Lucky Cat, a rainbow, of course followed by a pot of gold, 2 shamrocks, and 1 lucky leprechaun. You're gonna wanna mix it all up, and we're gonna have to let this boil on the stove for 45 minutes. What was it like being a first-generation American?
What can I say? I did see my father work long hours. He struggled very hard to go to work and put food on our table. Sometimes he worked 5-6 days a week. It made me appreciate what I had. And when I was able to go to Kmart with my dad, I still remember when he came home from work and said, "We're gonna go shopping," and we went to the Kmart and he bought me a Barbie doll. So I appreciated everything that I got, and it makes you appreciate life in general coming from another country.
Were your parents strict on school or anything else coming from a new generation?
Traditions were number one. He wanted to make sure that we kept our Italian traditions with family, relatives. But yes, very, very strict with school. He wanted to make sure that we got an education so that we could provide for our family.
Just like in Miss Federigi's essay, Peter Ferreira talked about how Americans welcomed people from different cultures in different regions and different lands because they are not afraid. He wanted them to share their history and to share their beliefs so they are not forgotten. And we welcome in America their religions, their beliefs, and their history, and we want them to tell us and show us about them. And that's what America is, sharing our beliefs and our cultures, just like Miss Federigi's parents shared their beliefs and cultures with us. So wrapping this all together, just like in Cristobal Sierra's essay, when he talks about coming to America, you become a new man. When you come through the oven going into a German dish, you come out coming into an American dish. He also talks about how you can be a part of the melting pot, which is why I decided to use my 3 backgrounds to show how they can all melt together to come into an American dish. Now it's time to check on how our corned beef turned out. Looks like our corned beef turned out pretty good. Finally, we're going to be making the Italian dish, which is our famous cannolis. To make the cannolis, you're going to need 3 soccer balls, a shot of espresso, a wine cork, and grapes from the vineyard. You're gonna want to stir it all together, and when we come back in 5 minutes, they'll be done and we can pull them out. Let's check out how that cannoli turned out. It's been chilling in the fridge. Looks like it turned out pretty good. Hope you enjoy.